Hello everybody and welcome to the video. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what's going on here, this is episode 2 in what's probably going to be about a 4-episode series. And what's going on here is essentially a 12-player multiplayer game where I've created the empires, given them secret objectives, and I'm sitting back and watching what happened. This was streamed live over on twitch.tv/republicofplay over the course of 3 days and about 12 hours in total. If you want to sign up and be part of those games, you can join our Discord. The link is in the description. And we announce the dates of the next game around the first week of each month, and then the sign-ups about a week before whenever the kind of games are about to be played. Anybody can sign up. Typically, we got about 40 to 50 signups last time, and about 10 people were paying members either through Twitch or Patreon, and they got priority. So there was about 2 slots available for people who weren't paying, and then every now and then we might get a dropout or 2, and you might get lucky and get in as well. So you can always try it for free, but you do also have to be an active member on our Discord. If you're an active member, those are the guys that kind of have a higher priority. So if you come along, just sign up once, and then never bother kind of trying to engage with our little community that we've built, then you're probably not going to get in. Just being real with how you actually get in these games. Now, this, like I said, is episode 2. This is the situation on the galaxy at the end of day 1. This video doesn't quite end at the end of day 2's stream. There's kind of a lot to cover. As I said, I'm observing. There's a lot of wars, trying to catch up on everything. I did just want to preface before we get into it. I understand and realize that I have missed a lot of stuff. Watching it back, it's like so obvious when you watch it back and you see like wars happening or battles happening, and I just look away. I'm going to try and get better at that in the future, and I definitely do get better as it goes on. I learned the observer tool a little bit more, and I learned to read the declarations a little bit better on time. It's kind of tough, just a little bit, when you're reading the chat, reading the declarations, and trying to follow what's going on, especially when there's multiple wars. So I do get a little bit better at it, and I'm super confident that as we get further in, it'll just be easier to follow. But do let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and leave a like on the video if you like this kind of thing. These pre-scripted empires and this kind of objective-based wars and stuff was really, really a lot of fun, and it worked out really well. And as I've said, the episodes get better as they go on, especially for day 3. The wars and the kind of turn of events that happened in those were really interesting. I'd never seen really in the Stellaris Multiplayers we normally play each month. One last thing I wanted to mention is we did also upload the first episode, and it didn't do so well for some reason. YouTube did also tweet that apparently like a lot of videos were missing their sub boxes, or just missing showing up on channels and things like that. That could be to do with it, maybe not, I don't know. But if you did like the series and you haven't maybe dropped a like on the other video, or you want to go share it with someone who you think might be interested, you know, other Stellaris fans, other Stellaris communities that you might be a part of, please do so. You know, I'd like to keep the series going. People who do interact with it and comment and things seem to really like it. So I'd love to be able to like keep doing it. So yeah, please let me know what you think about it. Anyway, that's pretty much going to be it. I'm going to duck out and just get into the video now. All right, see you later. Okay, so this is the galaxy as it stands. We're all back in. We have our 11 players. Of course, the Norilga swarm was defeated by the United Kundian nation. Previously, the Kundian refugees who were fleeing from the Norilgan threat, but they have retaken their homeworld of Kundia. And that was one of their main objectives. The only objective that goes across 3 days. Each day, there's 3 sessions, the objectives change. Now, I don't think we can really do much with day 3 because we can only kind of give them the objectives at the end of the session. So obviously at the end of day 3, the game's over, so I don't know what we could do. We could do a little interval in the middle of day 3 to give them like a last, maybe on the halfway through, we'll just give them some last-ditch resources and stuff. It doesn't take long at all, actually, and if I only give them a couple objectives, it might be fun to kind of steer the game that way. Well, either way, that's the situation. That was played by Frandoka. If we have a look at the power rankings really quickly, over here, the power rankings in the observer mode is actually a little bit different to how it is in the situation log and victory conditions. We notice that the Void Guardians are actually coming first according to the victory conditions in the game, which I guess breaks it down a little bit differently to the power ranking on the right-hand side. So, essentially, Void Guardians are coming first, the Exchange is coming second, the United Kundian nation is coming third, Quenti League coming fourth. Now, the reason I wanted to mention those 4 is because we've got a new rule. Federations are now available and allowed for day 2. However, if you are in number 1, 2, 3, or 4 spot, you are not allowed to federate, or you're not allowed to get a defensive ally. If you have one already, that's fine. But apart from that, that is just the way it's set. If you fall down the chain somewhere, that's fine. Then you're free to kind of federate up if you want. But for now, only the people from spots 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 can federate with each other. And there's another rule as well, which says that if you are the opposing ethic, for instance, someone's highly militarist and someone's highly pacifist, fanatic, that is. If someone's a fanatic of one ethic and they cannot ally someone of the opposing ethic. So a fanatic militarist cannot federate with someone who's a pacifist. They don't have to be fanatic. It's only if one of you is fanatic and you're opposing, sorry, you're not allowed to be friends. Because it's a narrative game, and it just doesn't really kind of fit the narrative that we're trying to spin. Right, so that's pretty much, I think, all we need to know. That's where we're at. So let's begin, right? We'll let it play on normal for a little bit.
War declared.
Wow, that did not take long. So, war has just been declared between No, that's already going on. I wish it would tell me. It haven't declared it. See, it's really annoying to know who that war is. I'm pretty sure it's Frandoka has gone to war with the Workers' Republic of Arius, and I think it's because he's claimed on the Zorican black hole and he wants it. And the war has ended. That was really quick. So essentially, I don't know if those guys did deals behind the scenes to do that. I know they'd been talking about Frandoka wanted that system, although I guess you could have just given it to him in diplomacy, but maybe not. He went to war for that one system and got it, so he's claimed that. So maybe there was some backhanded deals done there. The Kundian will protect the curators from the galaxy, according to the Kundian refugees.
Project complete.
So that's a declaration from those guys. They will protect the curator order. It's our right in the name of science. That's a good point. Although they are the scientific, yeah, they're the curator order, so they are the scientific one. So there you go. Fanatic militarist, not with pacifist or only fanatic pacifist. Basically, if you're a fanatic of anything, you cannot ally with someone who is the opposing ethic. That's all. Simple as that. I just gave the example of a fanatic militarist cannot ally with a pacifist, for example. Okay, so that's pretty much that situation. Let's have a look at some of the new objectives, right? Seeing as we're looking at... Well, let's check. There's still a war going on. And that's between the Void Guardians, who, remember, are still coming first, and the Divine Mandates. We can maybe check really quickly what they've got in terms of... By the way, the game is... Yeah, it is moving right now. I was just wondering if... I know we're still at normal speed, but I'll switch it pretty soon. The Void Guardians objectives are here. So to colonize all planets with black holes. That is their job. And if we look at them, let's go back into observer mode and check them out. If we go diplomatic, they own the green. So they are really sporadic and spread out all over the place. And as a result, their empire cohesion is super low. They're at 80, or super high, I guess. Well, you think it should be, technically it's low cohesion, which causes high problems, I guess. So 88% cohesion negative. Because they're so sprawled out. So essentially, those guys need to colonize all planets with black holes. Control Keen Hijal. Is it Hijal? Let's see where that is. Oh, it's Ken. Ken Hijal. So they want to control that. So they don't currently occupy it because of their war right now. So that's that system there. Then they have to control Heaven's Gate. Now they might not know this, but we know. Or I know. Yeah, it's not appearing in the search. I know the search is blocked right now, but it is out and around down here somewhere. It's really, I think that's it. Oh, they just located their precursor home system. So this is a really far out system, but they get a lot if they get it. They get the technology for dark matter shields. So in the next game, if they get this system, they get a huge technological boost by having that. Control the XUU Canis black hole. Don't think they found that either. That I think is over here, right about here, and they get a huge amount of engineering for that because there's engineering structures in there. Control Brune's Singularity. Now this is a really big one, and this is currently occupied by the Protectors of Nar, which is here. Actually, it's not currently occupied by them, but it is there, so they've got it boxed in. So now if they own that, they'll get an Ascension perk, 500 influence, 10,000 energy, and 10,000 minerals, and that's because of how difficult it is for them to get. So they have to wage a war somehow, or do diplomacy or whatever, with the Protectors of Nar to figure out how to get that system, or go through the Machine Empire first. It's a very tough thing to do, but because it's a black hole and it fits their story, obviously if they do it, they get a massive reward if they get to accomplish it. Heaven's Gate, kind of like the cult. Oh no, we still have more. Purge at least one pop, and then have 6 edicts enabled. Now the modes, gases, and crystal edicts don't count because they're pretty easy, but the main edicts do. So that's kind of the situation there. Now where we left off yesterday was the Protectors of Nar actually waged a war. Oh no, the other way around. Sorry, the United Kundian Nation waged a war on the Protectors of Nar. And they pushed in. We saw them take the Onab system. We saw them push in further and further. And then the Protectors of Nar came back out and beat the fleet back. So, and then they actually got peace, and they ended up humiliating the United Kingdom nation. So the Protectors of Nar won their battle, won their fight, and got victory over these guys and embarrassed them, humiliated them, laughed in their face. Can we explore those black holes in observer mode? Absolutely. So yeah, there's only 5 engineering here. It's nothing too crazy. And then the one down here, I think, has dark matter in it. So this actually has a colonizable system for them. I think normally in the game, these aren't normally colonizable, but I've made them colonizable. And then it actually just had dark matter on it. So I believe that's why that nation, the Void Guardians, get dark matter shields. It's because they've taken a system that has dark matter in it. These guys get a lot of engineering if they take this one. Again, both are kind of difficult to get. They're pretty far away. They'd kind of have to stop fighting and stop kind of trying to take territory and really think about where they want to go just to get their objectives. Their objectives purposefully kind of ignore other empires because, you know, their story that we had for them was that they basically were fascinated with black holes, and as a result, time moves slower for them because they've lived in proximity to these. These are a much more ancient race. They have wormholes that allows them to get out of there if they want. Now, I don't know if we just talked about it as well or not. I can't remember, but we did see that they had the objective, or if we didn't see it, we'll see it now. The Void Guardians have the objective to open the L gates. Is it them? No, sorry. It's these guys. These guys have the objective to open the L gates. Interesting thing with them having the objective, the Divine Mandate, is there's an L gate system in this place. So whoever opens it first will basically pretty much destroy the other empire. And they might end up destroying everybody depending on how strong they are relative to everyone else. We're going to speed the game up now. The Void Guardians have opened their borders to the Workers' Republic, so the Workers' Republic ships can get back home, because apparently they were stranded here for a while. So the Workers' Republic, actually, yeah, they kept 2 of their systems. I think Franduka was really just going after either maybe the dark matter resource, but he also wants to build up the opinion probably of the Enclave here and get that high research, because he's all about that research in the scientific nation of the United Kingdom. Let's see who's still at war. So these guys are still at war. Hit 100% war exhaustion. Green and the red, the Void Guardians versus the Divine Mandate. There's another war out here, the Free People against the Selenadra. The Free People have pushed back the Selenadra and they have claimed the Haban system, which they occupy. They have a fleet strength of 1,000. It looks like there's a bit of a border dispute going on here. They're bombing Crag, but over here, these guys, it's only a 270 fleet. So these, the Selenadra themselves don't look like they have the fleet to deal with it just yet. They have about 900 strength there. If they combine everything up, they'll have a pretty equal fleet to pushing in, although the Starbase here might turn the tide. So still pretty early phases in the game. We're only really dealing with a couple thousand fleet strength and things like that. Nothing too crazy.
Project complete.
Weirdly, the Free People have an Ascension perk, but they have not activated it yet. We could check out what their objective is as well, maybe, and see what they've got going on today's game. So the Free People, Knife's immersion with the objectives, I appreciate that. We read out a lot of their backstories yesterday, but we've already kind of gone through that. So I don't want to kind of go through it too much. I loved so yeah, the other interesting one. So let's check out we're looking at their objectives still, so let's just get through them before we kind of move on. So these guys have to obtain a Selenadra pop, obtain an Ari pop. So the Selenadra are the guys they're at war with. They might be able to obtain a pop somehow if they occupy one of the planets. And of course, if they do that, they just get a tradition, which would be all right. If they obtain an Ari pop, I forgot to color the minerals and energy word there, but that would be that would mean going to war with the Workers' Republic or somehow obtaining one through migration, perhaps. They need to weirdly, they're a free haven and they can they're all in favor of immigration and stuff, and they had no other species in their lands or in their anywhere. So if we check their species, it was all just them. So they haven't yet had anyone. It's actually changed now. So now they have it, because I checked it earlier today. They didn't have any. They didn't have any Selenadra. So they're after somehow getting 11 already. Maybe they just took the planet. They just took the planet. So that's how they did it. They literally didn't have that until earlier. So they've achieved this goal right now of obtaining a Selenadra pop. Whether or not they keep that planet, we'll see. It is in their claims, so it looks like they probably will if they win this war. It depends if they win it or not. Obtain an Ari pop would of course mean going to war with Dan Suso, or striking a deal, or getting migration to kind of flow. And then they're going to progress, hopefully, to acquire xenocompatibility, the Ascension perk, and that will allow cross-breeding of these nations, of these species, I should say. And then enable social welfare for all, colonize a Gaia world, and have at least 85% stability on all worlds. One of their... Glad to see this is working. I hope you are going to continue these narrative games in the future. Yeah, I think so. I think once we iron out a few of the issues... Most of the issues are being kind of ironed out anyway, but if I get a little bit more time and prep on the next one, I'll definitely have a bit more smoother overlays and things to look at these different nations, but I like it. I like it a lot. It's been, for me, I'm not playing for the first time, but I'm interested to see how it unfolds, and for me, it's extra fun because I come up with the objectives, and it's quite fun. The war just ended. It did. Let's check out what happened. Let me see if there's been any declarations about it. The Nar congratulate the free people of Mother. So the Nar are happy about the free people of Mother winning their war. The Selenandra Alliance say, we have surrendered to Space Chicken. The Void Guardians have suffered a massive defeat at the hands of the Divine Mandate. So the Void Guardians, I think their war... No, it's not over yet, but they just said they've suffered a massive defeat. We might have missed the actual battle, though, unfortunately. Consciousness has just said that drawing dark matter from the Yolta 3 system they'll make the consciousness more aware of the universe's true structure. And then I think we could check on their objectives really quickly. Occupy a total of 14 planets, control 40 systems, control Bruin's singularity, remove all negative traits from the majority of your pops, control and harvest a deposit of dark matter. So they've completed that one. Tech research dark matter shield. So they're going to get that straight away. We saw as well that the Void Guardians could get that dark matter shields as well if they were to occupy a certain system. Destroy the Artisan Trope, and that is just up to their north. Control Capella, Vemol, and Upstoth. I think those systems are here. Capella, Vemol, and Upstoth. So yeah, there's no wars at the moment. I'll try to really focus on just a war if it happens, but there was 3 wars going on. I guess I missed most of the battles. Welcome guys to the Senate. Welcome to the Republic. Thank you guys for being here and supporting the stream. I do appreciate it. Damn, and Scramble just subscribed, tier 2'd out of his mind for 9 months in a row. And he says, hope you have a great weekend. Thank you very much, man. I'm having a great weekend so far anyway. Thank you. The thing is, just as the Void send their fleet to attack, you looked away. Right. I mean, yeah. See, I don't know. Like, I can't always know if stuff is about to happen. Because I'm also trying to read the declarations that are going on, as well as focus in the game. So, I don't know. I'll try to get better. It's just hard to manage everything, I suppose. What I don't understand is... So they did end up getting the system. Anyway, so it looks like these guys got Ken Hijal. And I believe that was one of their objectives as well, was to take and hold Ken Hijal. So we could just really quickly check that as well. The Divine Mandate. Wasn't it a mission of the Void, keeping the system? Keeping Ken Hijal? Possibly so. We could check that. Yeah, control Ken Hijal. So, I mean, they still have 3 hours to do it. So they could take it back in a second war. But that is one of the things. They will get 2 Unity traditions if they manage to retake this settlement. So if the Void retake this planet, or this system, which does have a planet in it, right? Or not? No, it doesn't. Another thing. But yeah, if they retake that, they get it. Catch you guys up on that stuff. So it looks like the Exchange is doing by far the best out of everybody. He's got a really strong empire. So he's basically a trade conglomerate, or trade authority, corporate authority, I should say. He's xenophobic, he's fanatic materialist. We could maybe take a quick look at what he has to do. He's got a fleet strength of 2,500. By far and away... Actually, wow. I was going to say by far and away the strongest, but not at all. The Protectors of Nar have a fleet strength of 5,600, maybe even too much, considering they're not at war. They are a pacifist, life-seeded nation. They can't even go to war. Unless they've changed something to maybe say that they can do liberations, but I don't even think they have that. They're in defensive wars at the moment, not liberations. So, very strong fleet. Stationed at the Halak station where there's a gateway, potentially. Can we have a look at Fran's objectives? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go check them out. So Fran was the only one who actually completed all of his objectives yesterday. And maybe as a treat, we'll just look at what his objectives were yesterday. So his objectives yesterday were as follows. Boom.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Looks like he's taking out some aliens over at the... Oh my god, he's over at Bruin's Singularity? That's why his fleet is so big. This isn't Fran, by the way. This is Protectors of Nar. Bruin's Singularity might be the most valuable system in the game. There's a ton of habitable worlds here and a ton of interesting worlds. There's a hive world. There's a machine world. So obviously to one empire, it might not mean that much. There should be at least one guy, though, for the Protectors of Nar. There's an Ecumenopolis over there. I mean, he could take that. Arctic Gaia world. So this is actually a Gaia world right here. There we go. So he's after coming in and taking out the 4K kind of aliens that were here. So that's why he had built up his fleet so strong, to push in there. Interesting to see him do that. He might decommission his fleet now a bit if he wanted to build up, but I'm sure he's going to go immediately in there, survey the crap out of all that, get the debris, and start colonizing that place. It's going to be an extremely valuable system, and multiple nations have like objectives to go for that, and they've had them since the beginning of the game. So looking over back at Kundian well, I keep calling them the refugees, but they're not the refugees anymore. They're not fleeing from anybody anymore. They had the objectives to destroy the Norilga swarm, which is their global objective, and they did that. Brandoka did that in the first go. Survive, controls X amount of systems, find and control the wormhole, build a robot, control your home world, make contact with the Protectors of Nar, and prevent Norilga expansion. Now, in hindsight, maybe it was a little too easy. I thought it would be very hard. I thought the Norilga would definitely bear down on him, but they didn't. So let's check his objectives today, which are now reflectant of maybe his playstyle as well, which is to give him a little bit of a harder challenge. I'll be very impressed if he manages to pull out all of these ones. So let's go check him out. So, boom. So today's objectives for the Kundian nation are to well, that's his global one, which he's completed. That doesn't change. Destroy the Norilga swarm. Okay, so destroy the Quenti League. Now, the Quenti League are his neighbor. Very close to him. At the end of the last stream yesterday, he actually got himself a vassal, the Quenti Alliance. Now, for those who don't remember, the Quenti League fought the Quenti Alliance by using the wormhole over at, was it Faram? They came through at Faram, which is here, so we'll see where this leads. Yeah, so they used the wormhole at Itza, they came through here, went up through these, kind of these lanes here, came into territory here. They could have gone through this one. They had that in their home system as per their story. And remember, they got the tech early. Now, the Alliance, which are the red guys up here, they were the stronger empire, at least in the start. But it seemed like Salty Stormtrooper, who was playing as the League, managed to be able to come through a different wormhole, come up, take the 3 planets, and ended up stealing or winning 2 worlds away from the Quenti Alliance. So he didn't complete his objective, which was to take their homeworld, but he did complete the objective, which was to he did win the war, and which also completed an objective for him. Now, the reason I mention all this is because back over for Fran has to destroy the Quenti League, which just won a war. Fran picked up the Alliance as a vassal. So he's got his own vassal now. His 2 main objectives right now for today are to destroy the Quenti League completely, wipe him out, and the Quenti Alliance must survive and remain your vassal. He'll get huge bonuses if he does that. 15,000 alloys, 15,000 minerals, 15,000 energy. Really, really considerable sums of stuff there if he manages to do it. Have at least 75% stability on all planets. Colonize 4 ocean worlds. Find and control Brune's singularity, which the Protectors of Nar have just accessed. I don't think Fran... Well, I know that Fran kind of looks at stuff in between saves, apparently, but...
Situation log.
As we were discussing, he might not know where it is, but he probably does know where it is, let's be real. So, he doesn't need to find it, he can see it. He can see it now anyway, I guess, but he wouldn't have been able to see it before. So you can see that anyway, so... Find and control Brune's singularity, he'll get a bunch of that, of consumer goods if he does, and he'll also get 0-point power technology, which allows him to do a bunch of things in terms of, I think he could start doing mega engineering and things like that in the Ascension tree, if he wanted to, once he gets that tech. But it'll also just put his ships far above, beyond what most others are capable of. Be the most technologically advanced empire, and control the Zorican black hole. Let's go see where that is. I think the Zorican black hole is somewhere out to the west. Oh no, it was here. That's why he asked Dan for it. And he gets himself 1,000 physics engineering society. So he just checked that one off the box straight away. He had told Dan that he wanted to talk to the curators, and he also declared it to the chat that he was doing it for the curators. But we could see that he's actually doing it because it's his objective. Now, he might be doing it for both reasons. Who knows? All right, so that is the situation at the moment. Who do you think is the strongest and the weakest? Well, we can kind of see. I mean, Protectors of Nar. I'm going to turn off the lanes while we're looking up here. Protectors of Nar are probably, now especially that they're going to get that system, are one of my favorites to win, as are the Exchange. As are the Exchange. They're extremely powerful as well. The Exchange are actually coming first in terms of the observers player countries and their kind of power over here. They've got a fleet power of 3,300. 8 colonies, 150 pops. Pops is basically the lifeblood of the game, and they've got the most. The Void seem to be doing really, really well as well. I mean, they've got 138 pops if you're just looking at it from the pop perspective, although they are so spread out that you could imagine that they would get hit from anywhere. These are the Void Guardians here. We'll zoom in just a little bit. So I think the Exchange, I'll just click them instead of doing that. So the Exchange are probably really, really strong. Protectors of Nar, the Void, and the Khandian Nation. Those are the kind of guys I have as favorites to win. The Free People of Mother here in the center, they're actually doing pretty well as well. They're doing just fine. 80s, they're growing a lot, and they could definitely take on a lot because of the ethics and things they have. They've actually got an Ascension perk that they've had this entire game that they have yet to spend. They might be waiting for something specific to toggle it. I don't know what they're waiting for necessarily. They do have the objective to get the whereas the Xeno compatibility, but they need to research gene tailoring to do that. So maybe they're waiting to get that, and then we'll see what they do. The entire time Frandoka's been playing, he has had bad consumer goods and bad energy. It seems like, and that has caused him a lot of unrest on his planets, which is why I gave him one of the objectives to have at least 75% stability on his planets. So we noticed that when he was at war, he just had 0 for consumer goods and energy, but it didn't bother his ships, it seemed. So I'm like, okay, like if you want to get your nice big fat stacks of whatever, minerals or whatever it might be, you're going to need to treat your planets right, you know? Science is all well and good, but if your people are unhappy. So let's check him out. So he's got 68 there. We said 75 for most of his planets. I don't even think he's got one at 75. Now he could do things like living standards and things like that that might help him out. He's got decent conditions. Like he could go up, and that would definitely increase the happiness and therefore the stability by quite a bit. But he would have to sacrifice a lot of consumer goods, and he's about to run out completely again. So I would say a priority for him, if he's looking to do that objective, which he doesn't have to, would be to get consumer goods from somewhere. Maybe ask his vassal for some. Workers' Republic the Workers' Republic announced that they're going to launch their 3rd attack into the alien scum. Got a tradition. Let's see how long it takes him to use it. I love checking how quick Dan is to do things. So he's got 1,700 strength, and I'm not sure which one he's going for. Heading to scat. So he's coming down. He might be going for this one. Yeah. For Dan, he definitely needs to get some anchorages or strongholds for that naval cap. Yeah, he asked me how to raise it, and I never told him. I forgot to tell him. But we're looking at Dan, right? He's got 11,000 energy, 12,000 minerals, 8,000 food. He didn't complete any objectives. He just built this up naturally. He's got so much shit, 700 influence, and he's got basically the entire galaxy to expand out here on the entire South Galaxy, and he just hasn't done it at all. Obviously, he's blocked in by 2 alien groups, and I guess he's trying to make his way out. I did give him a hint and gave him a tip and said, go for this. I told him where there's a tomb world because he needed some help. So I was like, if you're looking for another tomb world, because that's what he inhabits, I said, you can go down here, go south. It's only 3 jumps, and told him where it was. I also told him that he's 60% habitability for these other planets. He could live on them, and if he got some techs that improved habitability, it'd probably be fine. So, you know, I tried to help him out. He asked me then, he's like, how do I improve that number? But I forgot to tell him. But he has 4 star bases. Maybe he just doesn't know to build anchorages. He is a pretty new player to the game. No problem to him. But yeah, he's so much, like, alloys, consumer goods. He probably has the most resources banked out of anyone that's just not spending them. Is Stellaris one of the more difficult or easy Paradox games to get into? In my opinion, it's quite easy to get into. Mostly because a lot of the stuff is practical, not abstract. That's just how I see it. Like, you kind of understand energy and minerals. Like, energy pays to run your ships. Minerals pays to build them. I know for any Stellaris fans out there, it's not quite that simple anymore, but you get the idea. Food keeps your pops going, things like that. To me, like in CK2 or Europa Universalis, the concepts are like way more awkward to understand. I remember in Hearts of Iron, I thought it was really weird that you don't pay your troops or you don't have any money. It's just like equipment, I guess. Oh. The Selenadra Alliance, submit to your corporate overlords or be destroyed. So we have the exchange demanding vassalization of the Selenadra Alliance. And I think the Selenadra said yes. They said it in their own kind of language. Yep, the exchange is now the overlord of the Selenadra Alliance. So just like that, he just got himself... He didn't even have to fight. He just demanded the vassalization. And the Selenadra, the warlike species that they are, didn't think they'd go for it, but they did. So that's actually going to change the kind of power dynamic in the rankings in the victory screen. So let's have a look. The exchange is now firmly in the top spot. And remember, the rule of this galaxy is if you're in the top 4 slots, you cannot have an ally. You can vassalize people, though. And that's what they've done. So having a vassal subject empires has given them 600 score. And they would have been number 1 anyway, even without that. But they have solidified their position at number 1 for sure, pulling ahead quite considerably. You can check and see who has what type of weapons. So for the exchange, they look like they're going heavy on the energy, I guess. Kind of a pretty even between coil and energy, kinetic and energy. We'd look at Void. Void has some unrest on his planets. He's got cruisers as well. He's going with some missiles, some plasma throwers, autocannons. A pretty even spread of a load of different types. Missile core, though. Kind of interesting. Level 2. Frandoka.
Situation log updated.
Interestingly, Frandoka and this guy have built the exact same. What the hell are the chances of that? Is that the meta or whatever? Because they have the exact same. Not the auto-created one, is it? No, I don't think so. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Although, if I remember correctly, they don't. It might be just the auto one, because they're all level 1 shields and stuff. That could just be why. I think it's actually just auto. Maybe not. I don't know if he has better than level 1. Let's check his technologies. I'm kind of curious about this now. There's still no wars, so we're okay. Let's just check. Does he have any other shield technology? Got fusion reactors, wormholes.
Special project complete.
No. He's just got the level 1 shields. Huh. Interesting. Maybe he's hurting for the physics research, or he just hasn't bothered. Let's check the free people. They're the guys that beat the warlike species. So these ones down here. Okay, yeah, they've got different ones. Yeah, so their auto one is definitely different as well. But yeah, it looks like they haven't really built up their own cruisers yet. They just have their own kind of destroyer called a cleaner, and then they have the lamb. Looks like a pretty even spread between energy and kinetic as well. Nothing too crazy. Maybe we'll just have a look at one more. Who has the big one? The Protectors of Nar.
Updated.
We'll check out their fleet. They've got a Corvette and destroyer. They don't have cruisers yet. The other two did. But they've got level 3 weaponry. Small UV lasers.
Updated.
And he can now reform his government, add a civic if he want. Another rule of this galaxy is that you cannot remove one of your civics and you cannot remove one of your ethics. And if you're a fanatic of any kind, you can't remove your fanatic ethic. So for instance, you can take a third ethic, you can change one of your ethics, but you cannot change all of your ethics. You have to keep partially some of your starting conditions. Shields are overrated anyway. Yeah, could very well be. So this is for the exchange. These guys out here. We'll just go with the regular colored empires. Turn that off for now. So we're looking at the exchange. I'll even just click them and then click that. So the exchange have the highest trade value. I believe they do have that. They had it already in the last game. They have 122 trade value. I don't think anyone else is even close to that. Acquire 2 vassals. So we know that they've got at least one. They're going to be looking to get another one if they want to get that 0-point power tech and an ascension perk. Restore a part of the Cybrex ring world. I believe that is up here. Have they started working on that yet? No. But they're going to need to build 10,000 minerals. And I believe they also need the technology to do it, mega engineering. So that's a tall ask for them to be able to achieve all that and get it built. I might even give it to them if they've started doing it. Because you can't interrupt it. Keep Empire Sprawl below 90. No, you haven't done that. You're way above it. Now, just for... Did they get something from the... No, they don't. I was gonna say if maybe their, what do you call it? Vassals contribute to it, but they don't. So, at the beginning of this game, their Empire Sprawl was like, only like 50. So they've actually doubled it within an hour. Oh yeah, so let's see who the Protectors, what they've done with the system. So they took the system. Have they colonized anything in it? Yes, it looks like they've already colonized, or they are colonizing the Ecumenopolis world. Huge boon to them. And they've taken the Gaia world for themselves as well. Who knows though, maybe something will happen in this system on day 3. We'll have to see. Okay, so that's like one of the most valuable
War
systems.
declared.
They could also... Okay, we got a new war being declared. Let's check the declaration, see if anything's happened. The Void Guardians started studying an alien dimension. It consists only of suffering. Can it be the Void? Oh, wow. I'll have to check that out later. We can't check it right now.
Situation
This is a war
updated.
between Frandoka and the Quenti League. Of course, if we remember, he had an objective to take... By the way, he's gotten a free Ascension slot. He had an objective to take out the Quenti League completely. Complete and total destruction. Now, if we check what the war is for, it's for Conquer. If we check what he's claimed, he has claimed a significant portion of systems, but not everything. He'll need to wage basically 2 wars if he wants to defeat them at this rate, or conquer as he goes. What the hell? Did it end? Oh, it ended. It just ended. Wow, it just ended like that. Peace. The Candian have declared war on the League. We shall end this petty dispute once and for all. Man, you ended it quickly. The Quenti League decided to opt for peace rather than lose an actual planet. So they didn't lose any planets. They just forfeited 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 systems, I want to say. Maybe 4. I didn't see necessarily if this was theirs or not beforehand. Good move on their part if they needed to buy themselves time, because they only lose basically 4 systems. Not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, really, if you look at the resources that it gives them. They didn't lose any planets or have any issues or even have to fight. Frandoka was pushing in with 7,500 fleet strength, and the Quenti League only had about a 2,000 strength. Yeah, down there. Oh. Oh. The Quenti Alliance actually got stuff out of that war. They had claims on the 2 planets. So I am mistaken, the Quenti League lost the 2 planets that they took in the previous stream and the previous day. So the Quenti Alliance has regained what they lost. So that is super interesting. I can't believe I don't know if they... Were they aware of that? Jeez. And the Quenti Alliance also... No way. Wow. They lost their capital. The Quenti League gave up their capital. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize. I just didn't think they would have just ended it and just lost that. Why did they let it go so quickly? I guess they just felt there's no chance. Ugly Duck, who is, by the way, stepping in for Salty Stormtrooper, who couldn't make it back today. Read the declarations. Let's have a little look. I had it open just a second ago. Oh, they just filled it just now. We wish to access... Oh, I read that already. The Quenti League just found out it needs to get better at reading, so the League doesn't lose its capital. Dude. I mean, if you're gonna accept peace, take more than a minute to do it, right? He did it so quick. Ugly Duck. I am disappointed. That's such a shame. So he just forfeited 3 planets. I was there saying like, oh, he only lost 4 systems. He lost 3 planets. But yeah, if we're looking at these objectives, Destroy or change Mitro into a tomb world is what the Alliance has to do. Now, in order to do that, which, by the way, they don't even have access to wormhole technology. They can't even visit their own world if they wanted to. Not yet. They don't have a route there. But once they get the technology, they can come through. But they own it now, just through sheer diplomatic changes. Can you actually terraform a planet into a tomb world without bombing it? Good point. I don't know. That's just their objective. Maybe I should have looked into that. I assumed you could, but you might not be able to. If you can't, I'll have to. Maybe I'll you know, ease up on that a little
declared.
bit. We've got a new war declared. Again, the Quenti Alliance is now at war. Let's check. With the Protectors of Nar. So these guys have just teamed up. Frandoka has just gone into another war against the Protectors of Nar. And now this guy doesn't have his defensive ally anymore. Oh my god. So he managed to get rid of his defensive ally as well. I'm not too sure how Quenti League became independent through that. Quenti League just... yeah, he hasn't said anything since then. So now we have a fleet strength of 1,690 coming to reinforce this 5k defense base here. As far as I know, you cannot terraform a planet into a tomb world just by Armageddon bombing a planet. Okay. And you can't bomb your own planet, so I don't know. He's found himself in a weird situation then. I might ease up on that because I wasn't aware of that. War declared again. This time between... wow, okay, so this time between Consciousness... am I right in thinking that? Yep, Consciousness and the Void Guardians.
Hostile station engaged.
Consciousness has just pushed into Torum. So all the wars are kicking off right now. Now, what does Void have around here to deal with that? He's moving a fleet out. He's got more than what the Machine Empire has. Oh no, he doesn't really. Machines have about 4,000 and Void has about 3,800, but obviously he's the defender. And then if we were to check out here, see what's going on with Frandoka. So it looks like the Protectors of... oh no. He's pushed in. He's pushed in. I must have missed it if there was the actual fight. I was looking at the other war. I don't know if there was a fight. I'll check in a moment to see if the Protectors of Nar have lost anything. It doesn't look like they lost their fleet. They might have just pulled out. So Frandoka has pushed in with 2 fleets of about 3,000 fleet power. Let me turn on some war music. Let's check then from Protectors of Nar perspective.
Updated.
Oh, maybe they did. Maybe they did lose one of their fleets. It says they have a 4,700 power. Yeah, they do have fleet power of that. I don't know where their fleet is, though. Oh, it's down here. So, yeah, it looks like they lost that 1,000 strength fleet. It did not hold. And they're merging stuff up down here. Still moving their fleet around. These two are now have now detected each other. I'm going to try and pay attention. It's hard now because they've both gone to war at the same time. It's hard to see both. But it looks like the Conscious Machine Empire taking the system. They're probably going to head to this one. I believe their goals are to take Capella. So let's check it out. They have conquer claims. If we were to look at it from Consciousness's perspective... yeah, they've conquer claims on all of this stuff.
Situation log updated.
These 2 fleets are about to engage as well. So there's about to be 2 big engagements. Oh shit, here we go. Go, 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 zoom in. 4,000 plus a 3,500 star base. This is the Protectors of Nar versus the Khandian Nation. Looks like Protectors of Nar are getting hammered. I think they should have maybe stayed a little bit further back away from their base. Let the base whittle them down and then come in. Yeah, not looking good. Not looking good. The system goes to Frandoka. That was a pretty big defensible system there. The next one over... I mean, he's starting to get another fleet together. Let's check quickly up here. It looks like these guys had to fight, did they? Because I can't see. Oh, no. No. They haven't had their fight yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. So these guys aren't fighting. Interestingly, Consciousness is going through the Divine Mandate's lands. Or systems. Kind of get in and around behind. Void Guardians have a 2K fleet out by their capital, and the Consciousness have 4K fleet coming up into the Delta Pavana system. We could check really quickly if they've got anything else. It doesn't look like the Void have anything else around. Oh shit, they actually do, right in this system. We just couldn't see it. There they are, 2.3K here. Oh, that's their 2.3K that was just in the capital, I think. They just need to get the hell out of there. I don't know what they're waiting for. Yeah, I don't know where they're going or what they're planning. They are dead. They are going to die. It's a bit of lag on Striker right now. But there you go. Pretty easy battle for the machines. On that front, looks like he caught him off guard a little bit by coming up around behind him like that, because the machines had another 2K fleet here, which just wasn't ready in time. So good move on the machines' part. They came around through this system and up behind them, caught that 2K fleet off on their own, and then this other 2K fleet couldn't link up. So we cut their forces in half, basically. Very interesting. So the Quenti League have just declared that they're going to be helping the Protectors of Nar by funding them with alloys. And I do believe that was actually an objective of the Quenti League. The Quenti League are now coming last. They have 3,600 alloys right now. Let me quickly check. Send 5,000 alloys to the Protectors of Nar. Declare this if and when you do it. So he is building up alloys now, I would imagine, to send to the Protectors of Nar. Or we could check if he's already done it. Doesn't look like he's done it. But he has declared it, so I'm sure he will do it. Okay, let's go back to the Void and see what's going on here. The Void now have a 5,000 fleet, so they've managed to get their fleets together. What about Consciousness? Consciousness are pulling their fleets away a little bit. So a 5K fleet over here for the Void, and the machines have backed away. It looks like the Void are coming back to take what they lost. So it looks like Void have been able to out fleet power machines, and the machines are just falling back because of that. Vassalize the Workers' Republic is another thing that the Quenti have to do. Activate a gateway. Have utopian living standards. Occupy Thabit Prime. Control Puter. Control Fedazir and Mili. They have not done any of these. Fedazir and Mili are up here. They're not going to be able to do that, I don't think. This war is still going on, by the way, at the Protectors of Nar. Let's go check it out. See what else is changing now. Oh, man. Frandoka is pushing in hard. Protectors of Nar have built up a 6K fleet, and they are pushing back. Man, do they not have the ability to just rebuild when they're getting hammered down. What legends. Here they go. Chasing the Khandian nation back whence they came. It looks like it's hard to see, but they've got about 5,000, about a 6,000, 7,000 maybe, if we were to kind of round it up. Doesn't bother them. They're coming straight in to deal with it. Oh, shit. Their fleet numbers went way down when they came in here. I don't know, man. I don't think they should have thrown themselves into that. I think they went a bit too early. Protectors and R are probably going to get the crap kicked out of them. They had a 6K fleet, and it just went down to like 3. There's an FTL inhibitor and stuff here, but it seems pretty rough. They're getting more fleets, though, or more ships that are coming to their aid. The League is not an egalitarian nation, so how could they get utopian living standards? The League is, the Alliance isn't, yeah. The Alliance is the authoritarian one. I accidentally gave them the objective yesterday of doing that. I just gave them the reward anyway, because it was my bad. My god, they actually might win this. 1,700 strength left. Frandoka's fleets have been almost gone there, and more just keep piling in from the protectors. He actually did it. Wow. He actually beat it back. And now it's just the... Oh wow, the exchange of embraced cybernetics. I don't think he's going to be able to take the system immediately, but Frandoka has to go way further back, obviously, to replenish his fleet that's after fleeing now. Whereas, obviously, the Protectors of Nar only have to go back to Narbo. So not too far. How long they're going to be out of commission for, I'm not too sure. Let's check. Going to be out of commission until 2260, 1221. Just 10 more days, not long at all. And Frandoka will be out of commission for... Where the hell is he? If not back already. No, he's going to be out for another 3 months. Almost 4. So yeah, I think he'll get these systems back no problem. The Protectors. Wow, he's actually able to push back on Frandoka. It's really cool to see that. It looks like as well on the Void front.
Science ship under attack.
It looks like the Void have now got basically a 6k fleet that is retaking the systems they lost, and the Consciousness Machine Empire have a 4k fleet that's pulling back. So that is the situation on the ground level. Pretty interesting wars, guys. That's pretty cool. I'm loving this game is awesome because in all the multiplayer games we've had, there's almost been no back and forth. Twice now we've seen Frandoka push in and get repelled. The 20 League completely dominate the Alliance and then fall back, even if it was a mistake. The Void push in on the Divine, the Void being a much bigger empire, and lose and get pushed back. I am loving this game. Check the decorations. The Workers' Republic would like to join an alliance. The Quenti League sends 5,000 alloys to the Protectors to complete the goal. Okay, I'll acknowledge that. So let's check the Protectors of Nar. They've spent every alloy they have, and that is probably how... Man, that is so cool. So because we gave the objective to the Quenti League to send 5,000 alloys to the Protectors of Nar, they've happened to do it in a time of need, in a time of war, and it's basically given them the strength to be able to build up their fleet to the point that they could repel their invader. I mean, that worked out exactly how I wanted it to. These guys now have a fleet strength of 6,700. Meanwhile, Frandoka, he's back up to 5,100 himself. So he's actually been able to kind of build up himself without the help of his allies sending him stuff. But they fulfilled their trade agreement. The Workers' Republic offer energy credits or minerals in return for alloys. You guys are looking for stuff. Let's check out the Workers' Republic just really quickly. They want some alloys. Now, he's got 17,000, 16,000, 10,000, 8,000, and then 0. Or not 0, but really low. He could tank the economy if he wants and buy some. Easy. He could buy 2,500 if he wanted to. I don't think Dan knows how to do that, though. So maybe if anyone's on Discord and they know Dan, can they send him a message and give him that option, just in case he doesn't know that he could just convert if he wanted to. If this game were like a typical Stellaris game, the objectives would be like become the most powerful ally and player and the second most powerful player. Yeah, that's why I really like it. It's making people do different things, and we're actually seeing them do it. I think the incentives have been good enough where people are actually doing these different things. So I'm happy to see that. Now, the interesting thing is, as well, that we haven't really touched on, is the fact that the Quenti Alliance, joining the Kundian nation, are also at war with the Protectors of Nar. But because they haven't researched the wormhole tech yet, they don't really have the option to come through and help with their fleet. They've no route to get there. So again, if they had followed their objective on day one, which was to get wormhole technology, they could easily warp through here, follow the path, and go into the United Kingdom's or the United Kundian nation's territory and push up. They are kind of isolated and stuck out there right now. Their 2,000 fleet can't really help out, at least not for now. Protectors of Nar are getting invaded again by the Kundian nation. Texas and R have got their big fleets stacked back at Narbo at their capital. No doubt building up and figuring stuff out. Let's see what they're actually doing. So they got a 4 point... Oh, that's their bases. They are upgrading. Yeah, that's what I thought. Waiting to upgrade, and then they're going to push back out. We'll see what they get. Frandoka is a really good player. Yeah, Frandoka is one of our best consistent players. He's been in almost every game we've had for the past year. And he always comes pretty high up there. Wow, look at the Selenandra expand south. Holy crap. Now, the interesting thing with that is the Selenandra, they did have objectives to expand a lot, get a lot of systems, but they're actually a vassal of the Exchange. The Exchange got them when they were very small. Well, not very small, but pretty small. They just need to research terraforming. So these guys, they need to research terraforming, control Veldun and Python. Veldun is owned by the Free People of Mother. I think what would be ideal for the Exchange is if, maybe if these guys fight or not, the Exchange gets the Free People also as a vassal. That would probably work out pretty well for them. So in order for them to kind of all complete their own objectives, they wanted to almost work together. The Selenandra could invade, take Veldun, Zaffa, and all this stuff. Then, with the giant fleet, obviously, of their overlord coming in to help, these guys could then be also vassalized. They would get their 2 vassals, they would get the systems they need, and everyone would get everything they wanted. There's no battle up here. So the machines haven't fought. Or maybe they did. Did they? It looks like they have a smaller fleet than they did, but still almost the same size. Yeah, maybe they lost. Sorry. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on what's going on out here at the very least. So we're looking at about a 6k fleet strength. It looks like the Protectors of Nar are taking back their stuff. They've got a 10k fleet strength. If we check what they've got level 4 and level 3 weapons now, whereas Frandoka is rocking level 1 scum ships. That's what I would call them. The workers of Arius say they feel trapped and discouraged because nobody is interested in an alliance. Well, you gotta make someone interested in one then, don't you? One of their objectives is to find an alliance or find an ally. But you might have to go to war. I mean, someone might want to let Dan know that the Quenti League are kind of a bit weak. And they're also busy. So it might be a good time to attack them if he wants to have a little war of his own. Level 1 plasma autocannon versus level 3 laser gauze sounds about equal. Is it? I don't really know. I never really look at stats. It's just not my thing. I'm a narrative guy, story guy. He's got medium mass drivers and large plasma throwers. So obviously you do get them a little later on from technology, and they are large. But they're only level... Yeah, I don't know. They're only level 1. He's got level 3 shields and armor. What is What do they have? He's only got level 2 shields and armor. Yeah, I'm not a stats guy, so I don't know how that's gonna play out. All I know is he's got 10k strength and Frandoka has 6k. And Frandoka can see him. So whether or not he's gonna go into this system, I do not know. But he's just chilling here. The Protectors in Art are just chilling right now. Not too sure why. If we were to check out... Oh shit, no. I run the numbers. Plasma is one of the most powerful weapon systems in the game. I think if he upgrades to tier 2, then yeah, definitely. But I don't know. Right now, tier 1, I don't know. But against level 2 armor, that's where it comes in where it gets interesting. For sure. It would be one to watch anyway. It'll be one to watch. I'll have to definitely keep an eye on that. I'll be sickened if I miss that battle. Is this war that's going on at the moment. I know it's a bit smaller in the side window at the moment, but it's a 90% exhaustion for the attackers, which is Frandoka and the Kandia, and it's 100% for the Nar. Okay, we've got our player back in. Nice. The objectives actually remind me of the missions or national focus trees in EU4 or Hearts of Iron. To me, they remind me of the Senate missions in Rome 1. The Senate has asked you to do a mission. You can ignore it, you can choose to do it or not. And if you do, you get a reward. Very similar. So we just had a player desync. Hopefully everything will be okay. We've got the player synced back up. We're on slow right now. Let's turn it up to medium. And then we'll wait maybe a month and turn it up to fast. We've been playing on fast the entire game. And that was That was Talkmaster, so that is the consciousness. Who... Oh, actually ended his war. I didn't see how it happened. And they didn't say it in the declarations, but his war has just ended. Must have just ended, as we saw him fleeing in. You guys did say that there was a battle that maybe I missed. His fleet is still pretty intact, if it was the one that fought. We saw it up to 4,600 strength. It was definitely less, so yeah, I'm guessing they had a battle here. And then when he lost, I'm assuming then he just went for a status quo peace, didn't get anything he wanted. I don't know if there's a way I can find out about what they got. If I might just ask them. So Talkmaster and Void, I'll just ask them in Discord what happened. The consciousness is pleased with the mutuality of love the Void shows, but doesn't understand this talk of bloodshed, yet understands the need to reboot. Shall be cold voidance contact for a while. I think that's because he desynced. Funny, the Machine Empire desynced. The Void Guardians urge the consciousness to stand down. We are more powerful. We do not want more bloodshed. Okay, so that's why they stood down. So I'll just ask, was anything gained or lost in that war in terms of goals? Just to make sure, because I don't know if he got humiliated for it or not. Workers' Republic, says the exchange. So this is from the exchange's perspective now. Workers' Republic, this offer is for your own protection, except for the greater good. The Workers' Republic has received, I believe, a diplomatic request to become a vassal of the exchange. What did I accept? Said Dan Suso. I think Dan has just become a subsidiary under the exchange. So the exchange, obviously, as they are a what do you call it? A corporate empire. They don't necessarily have vassals in the traditional sense, but they have subsidiaries, which are basically the same thing. And they have gotten two, so they are huge now. They are probably the biggest threat to the galaxy that exists right now. 7,000 score. 1,700 worth of subject empires. If we go diplomatic mode, the yellow guys are their subject empires. And that's what they have. They have the Selenadra Alliance and the Workers' Republic of Arius. So they are an absolute dominant force. They've got a pretty strong economy. Quite low minerals, though. Only making an income of 20 on the minerals front. But yeah, if we just take a quick look at their objectives again. Let me just find where their objectives are. So we're looking at the exchange. So if we check out their objectives. Their objectives were to acquire 2 vassals. They've done that. So if they maintain that, by the time we start our next session tomorrow, they will get an Ascension perk and 0-point power technology. They want to restore part of the Cybrex ring world. So we were looking at that earlier. Actually, we shouldn't really look at this too much because I want to focus on whether this fight is going to go down or not. That's a bit more important right now. So let's just keep an eye on that. Who are we looking for? Protectors and R. The fight hasn't happened. Okay. It says force peace possible, so I'm assuming Frandoka could force a peace right now. I don't know if it displays me the timer or not in this message. I know it normally does. And if we're looking at what he's claimed, he does have the Wu and Onab system claimed. And he could status quo, I think, and get those 2 systems if he wants to not have to see how this fight goes. We're looking at the Protectors of Narn now dealing with about an 11,000 fleet. Still on his level 1. He could upgrade if you was close to a starbase. So he might have fresh designs coming in on some of these ships. Some of them have proton launchers, which is something we see quite a lot of in our multiplayer games. They seem to be what everyone just decides to build and just destroy people with them. He's only got 1 cruiser that has them right now, at least on that fleet. On this fleet, he is all cruisered out of his mind. He is now, they're all healing now somehow, I don't know why. Maybe he just upgraded this. What has he got here? This is still defenses. He's got a target uplink computer and a communications jammer there. Is he moving? Looks like he's pulling out. Like he's pulling out. Not too sure why. Protectors of Nar are not moving. Proton launchers are the best anti-large weapon, besides torps, in the entire game, as far as I know. Says Razul. I think Free People of Mother had an ethics shift. Okay, I'm really hesitant. Oh no, he's moving up that way. Oh, I rotated the camera around. So he's actually, looks like he might be going for the fight. 9,700, actually 10,000 strength. Versus what looks to be about 11,000, right? Just about. Maybe about 12,000. But technology maybe not on the level of Frandoka. Only one of these ships are upgraded the way he wants. Oh, that's it. Peace. Peace has been forced. We don't know who forced it. It doesn't say yet in the declarations. But Frandoka got 2 systems and the battle never took place. So Frandoka got 2 systems out of it. Okay, he stopped typing. The Workers' Republic have said, could the Void stop expanding near our borders? Don't want anything bad with them. So innocent. So ethics shift, eh? Let's check it out. Why was that so loud? I don't know. But it was. So they're egalitarian, xenophile, and spiritualist. So they've added egalitarian. They used to be fanatic xenophiles, so now they're just xenophile with egalitarian. Now, I do believe he has actually broken a rule by doing that. But I don't really have a way of enforcing it. I might have to deduct something from him. One of the rules of our game that was posted is you cannot change a fanatic ethic. And he did. War's been declared. Again. No way. How is he doing this? He's like rotating wars somehow. So Frandoka has waged yet another war against the Protectors of Nar, and this time their defensive ally has come in to step in with them. They have a defensive pact. I don't understand what that middle war was for. How was he able to do that? Okay, let's check it out though. It looks like Protectors of Nar are moving forward. So it looks like Protectors of Nar came forward, took this system, and then fell back. This war continues right now. This is the only war that's going on in the galaxy. So he's retaking it and then kind of falling back a little bit. The empires don't want to get too close to each other yet. They're feeling each other out. We're looking at, again, 12k versus about 10k. The longer it seems Nar waits, the stronger Tidar Frandoka gets. Hey, Bitmark's here. Guess who placed second in his AOS tournament? Oh shit, hang on. Got a battle. Big fight coming up. Oh my god, it's so even. The forces of Kundia under Frandoka have pushed into the system and are battling against the Protectors of Nar. Will their technology outmatch them? They have proton launchers. And we saw that these guys did not really have great defenses, only level 2 armor and shields. It looks like the Kundian nation is getting the better of the fight, only slightly. Might not be able to take down the base. Oh, they're being pushed back now slightly. Oh, I don't think he's going to be able to do it, actually. I think he's going to lose to the base. Very aggressive from Frandoka. I'll just highlight the red ships. Oh, that's it anyway. So yeah, Protectors of Nar survived. No problem to him. Game is grinding to a halt because of Striker for some reason. But there you go. Protectors of Nar won that fight. So man, time and time again, Frandoka keeps waging war on the Protectors of Nar, and time again they keep pushing him back. However, he has gained 2 systems overall. Hey, it's me, Darren, from the future. Alright, so that's going to be it really for the end of this video. Now, we didn't quite end on the end of day 2 here. Remember, this is a 3-day stream. There's probably going to be 4 videos. Like I said, there's a lot of wars and stuff that I felt was important to kind of keep up with, especially for stuff later on. You might need to see stuff earlier on, so hopefully you guys are able to follow it well enough. And do leave me any feedback you want in the comments below. Like I said, I was aware I was missing some stuff, and I definitely feel like I'm getting better at it as it goes. And by day 3, I think I'm pretty good at keeping up with almost everything that's happening. I'm getting much more used to the observer tool and like seeing things from people's perspectives and things like that. So don't be too harsh on me. I'm very aware when editing it, I could see like, dude, how are you missing this stuff? So I'm with you. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So remember, if you wanted to sign up and stuff, join our Discord, get involved over there and be part of the community. They run kind of weekly games as well. Not like these narrative games, but there's an interesting one that our community is actually running now where it was 5 empires versus 5 empires in a sort of a 5v5 PvP galaxy, which is quite an interesting one as well. So consider joining our community and having some experimental games there as well if you want. All right, so that's pretty much going to be it. Remember, if you could possibly leave a like or comment or share this in some way or support it in some way, drop $1 on Patreon or over on Twitch, subscribe or something like that. It really does go a long way. Trust me, it really does. All right, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.